sharing your blog, like sharing your thoughts and like really providing value to your audience at every like step of the way, is gonna create more than just like a dollar sign or just like a one-time transaction. Absolutely right. There's endless noise, and you just become a part of that. You become a commodity. Like
Yeah.
this is like a proper website that speaks your truth as a business, as a human, is how you're gonna break through the thousands of TikTok videos people are scrolling through day after day.
Hey yo, here we go. Microphone check. 1 2 1 2. I said microphone check. 1 2. Can't nobody out here do it like me. Ain't nobody out here winning like me. Can't nobody.
Welcome. So I'm Dylan, your host here with Mind, Body, Muscle. We have a special guest today. Dominic here is starting his own business. He's joining the entrepreneurs and starting his journey. He's becoming not only his best self, but helping others become their best self as well. So Dominic and I were talking a little bit before this, and man, he's got just such an incredible story. Something that I feel like we can all truly, deeply relate to. I know I definitely can. So without further ado, I'm gonna let Dominic take the stage here. Dominic, tell us a little bit about yourself, man. Who are you, and what are you doing? What are you doing in this amazing world?
Well, hey everybody, my name is Dominic Carvahlo. I am so glad to be here. I'm grateful for you, Dylan. We've been friends since high school.
Yes.
And maybe a little bit before that, but soccer days.
Yeah, dude. Oh, yes. Yeah, man, we were pretty close back then too. We had some good times.
Oh yeah. Like you're one person that like we were never like BFFs, which hell, I'd be down to change that. But
Amen.
we were we were never like close, but you're always somebody that I always like looked up to you, that I always liked, and that I always like, I don't know, I always appreciated like your vibes. Like you're just a good guy.
I appreciate that, my man. And I felt the same for you as well. I can sense that. There's some things we can just sense, It's that sixth.
Right. Right. But I'm bad. I didn't even talk about myself at all. But basically, my name is Dominic, and I am the founder of Spirit Fly Creative.
Spirit Creative. All right.
Yes, which is my new business that I'm starting up as a first slash maybe second time entrepreneur. I've tried to have a web design agency in the past. I can't think of the word where you're just like one person. Freelancing.
Oh
Yeah. I tried to do freelancing in the past. Didn't quite. It worked out, but I had some mental blocks that stopped me. But now I'm like ready to go full force with this. And yeah, I'm happy to be here right now.
Awesome, man. Well, I'm happy you're here too, man. So grateful for you. So grateful for your message. So what is Spirit Flight Creative, right? Spirit Flight Creative. What is your dream? What is your vision? Who do you help? And what do you do?
Okay. So Spirit Fly Creative, it's a spiritual web design agency.
Okay.
So what I mean by that, because I had to formulate what that even is, because you don't hear that very often.
Not really.
Which I love, because I want to break new ground too. But rather than just go back into the web design space, because like I said, in the past I was a freelance web designer, and I did one website for an accounting firm, and I actually loved it. Like I had a great time, but I've been on this spiritual journey myself where I've become awakened, and I am like on this quote path to enlightenment, which that's kind of something you never quite get to. But I'm just in this spiritual world that is just totally filling me up and giving me a new sense of purpose.
Yeah.
And that has led me to want to connect with other people on that path that are trying to just help people, that are trying to, as I like to say, raise the vibration of the planet. People who are spreading a positive message. So not just any random business, because, you know, let's face it, a lot of businesses out there are just in it for money or selfish reasons. And yeah, and I have one life to live. So like, why waste my time, you know, helping a cause that I don't fully believe in, you know, like nothing against these people, but like, this is my life, you know? So I want to choose my path. And I chose, you know, I was like, what better people to work with than people in the spiritual space, as I like to refer to as spiritual entrepreneurs, which could be anyone from a yoga studio to a meditation studio to a massage therapist, a holistic healer, a motivational speaker, fitness coach. Like, the thing about it is I'm still figuring out exactly what that means.
Yeah.
And I want it to be like this fluid thing where I just want to help people who are helping people.
Yeah, dude, I was just about to say, sounds like people helping people, man. Sounds like just helping grow, you know, helping grow and helping other people achieve their highest self, dude. That's awesome. That's brilliant.
Absolutely.
Cool, man. So you started this journey. So where did that desire, because that's humble, that's amazing right there. That, like you said, is the most important thing when you're starting a business, to actually create a difference. Because as entrepreneurs, man, I feel like we get a bad rep. Like, for real, you know, for real.
No,
like,
you're right.
There's so much hate on big corporations and hate on the richest people of the world because they have all this money. But people always neglect to look at the fact that they have this money because they've helped so many other people. They've helped change their lives. That's what it's all about, right? That's amazing, man.
No, I absolutely love that you point that out, because I mean, I guess you're right. There's probably people out there, a lot of people that think, you know, I actually, I guarantee it, because I know my mom's one of them, who like thinks like big companies are just assholes. Can I cuss on here?
That's fine. That's fine. We can bleep it out. We'll bleep it out. It's all right.
Okay. I'm sorry. I am not very censored of a person, but
hey, I love it. Just be you, man. You're awesome. You're awesome, bro.
But yeah, that big business is just evil.
Yeah.
And then they kind of rope in like any sort of entrepreneur, and they just think business is bad. But all business, like you said, starts with an idea, and it's usually a pretty dang positive one. Deep in their mission statement, that statement that nobody ever reads, like there was a guy or a gal like once upon a time years ago that wrote that, and it's like, you know what, just like I am right now, like I want to do this. This is what we're all about. And until the day this company goes under, we're going to help people with this mission. And I think that's what really keeps you afloat. Because if you use money as your boat, like there's going to be holes, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. And I think really to get down to not the surface level, but the deeper levels of all of this, what you're saying, man, it's the poverty mindset. You know, it's that negative poverty energy that just
absolutely
surrounds you, man, corrupts your mind, makes you think and only see one side of the spectrum, and neglects to see the full thing, right? They see how people have all this money, and just because they don't have that money, they obviously assume it's bad, it's wrong, and they're hating on that. They're choosing hate over looking at the love of it and giving love and seeing that, hey, this guy has done some great things. He might be deserving of all this wealth. And what is he doing with that wealth as well? You know, I like that. Money is energy. Money is energy. Just like you said, dude. Like you said, if you focus on just attaining the money, you're not going to get it. If you focus on how you can change somebody's life, they're going to give you endless supply of money. The money's going to come.
It just flows into you.
Yeah.
You're speaking my language still. That's freaking awesome.
Heck yeah, dude. That's why I wanted you on here, man. I knew you had a great message that we could definitely share for everybody, help people that are struggling, maybe people that were in the same position as you and I, you know, when we first started dealing with, doubt, frustration, just anxiety, just negative beliefs, poverty mindset, even, people can break free from that. We can break those chains for them right here to help them with that,
Absolutely. And that's the thing. I'm grateful for how I grew up. Like, everything that happened to me, I've had some bad stuff happen to me. Like, I lost my dad at 15 years old. I became an alcoholic for about 10 years of my life. Like, my mom went into a depression and was never there for me. I'm from Canton, which is a small town, and it just has that small town poverty mindset. Like, literally, like when you grow up and you're not ever around someone who's like a role model, who's going to be there to say, you can do this. Like, you can literally do whatever you want. Like, money is not a problem. Money is a solution that's going to come to you. When you have people that are like fear money, and just like literally the language of the people in Canton, because I still live there right now.
Yeah.
The language of that poverty mindset, it's palpable and it's dense, and it really just like, you don't feel like you can win, like when you're just engulfed in that. And I totally get anyone who's going through that right now. And I can't wait to just be able to like have a message and be able to speak their language. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Absolutely. Because I know that the weight of all that is so hard to carry. So heavy. It's so heavy, man. And like they always say, who you surround yourself with, you become. And it goes farther than that too. What you surround yourself with, you become. It's about the energy that's produced from human beings and other things, because everything has energy, everything vibrates, everything's moving. We can go into the science of things, but we don't want to lose people here. That's like Nikola Tesla said, as well as Albert Einstein even acknowledges, like, you want to understand the universe, think in terms of frequency, energy, and vibration, right? It's because down to the smallest molecule, the atom, it's vibrating, it's moving, it's never staying still. Everything that we see is vibrating, right? So having that energy being emitted and captured, like if you're so negative, you're not just spitting out negativity and it just goes away. It stays in the environment you're in. And when somebody else walks in, you can feel that. You can feel that energy, man. And that's why I feel like you're absolutely right, dude. It's heavy. It's so heavy. And the only way to really rid it is to get out, or get out and then come back and then be the light, because the only way to really fix the darkness is to turn on the light, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, darkness can't exist like in the face of the light.
Exactly, man. That's power right there. That's so powerful. Well, that's great, man. So you lost your father. My condolences, man. I'm sorry to hear about that at 16. And then you said you were a functioning alcoholic, I think your words were.
Yeah.
For 10 years, huh? So let me ask you, man, what was your rock bottom point? What was that point that you just said, I have enough, I'm done?
Well, the rock bottom for me, because this really like summarizes everything, was when I was with my ex-fiance and she broke up with me. She broke off the engagement. And my so-called perfect life was an absolute sham. And it's like, you get so far off the path, like, and you just don't even know where you're going. Like, because I remember like back in high school, like I had thoughts like this, like right now, like I can do anything. Like I wanted to be a web designer when I was a junior in high school, when they're like, hey, what do you want to do for when you grow up? I was like, well, I like computers and I like creativity, so sure, web design. But I was so sure of myself. And then, bad things happen. I lost my dad. I became so like susceptible to the outside world. negative influences, bad friends, just all these horrible things rained down on me and just like created this new person that like couldn't stand up for himself, had no confidence, just like would turn to anything outside of himself to like fix what was deeply, deeply broken. And that the name, like the number one thing throughout my whole life that was my go-to was alcohol for years. Like, I mean, I remember I was in a band and we had one song called Dom is an Alcoholic, literally. Like, I don't like it's funny now, and they laughed hysterically when they made because my drummer made the song.
Oh yeah.
But like I was so oblivious, like doesn't that sound like what you wouldn't want for your life, right?
Yeah.
Like if someone like made a song about you, you're like you'd be like, maybe I should rethink what's going on here, you know? But like, yeah, to have that going on at that time, like I was so oblivious to just this darkness that was living inside me, and I kept using alcohol to just numb the pain, like never deal with what was happening and just always like seek outside of me to just numb it down. So yeah, anyway, uh I was drinking basically every single day for close to 10 years. And yeah, it was a real struggle. And like I said, it took that relationship where that was the catalyst. Was when my fiance, the one woman that I thought I loved and I thought loved me, like finally gave up on me because she put up with a lot. And she was honestly my enabler in a lot of ways. Like nothing against her. I'm just saying like that was the relationship that worked for me because she never said no. She never said put that booze down. Like she never tried to control me. So I was literally, a lush. And yeah, so when we broke up, this was in 2020. This was in July of 2020, right around my birthday.
They're in the thick of everything then, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, you would have people talk like dark times, like not only was the universe and the planet going through darkness, like I was right there with it, like, and I fell into deep depression. I started drinking way harder after we broke up and was just at the bar every single night, hanging out with old friends like that I just shouldn't have even been with. Just really like backsliding until like I hit that breaking point. And it wasn't like, I don't feel like it was one big day where like I ended up passed out, drove into somebody's house or something crazy. Thank God,
Yeah.
but like, it was just like too many days after days of just feeling physically like crap.
It's being so drained, right?
Yeah, I had no energy. And like I really like it was all just like this click moment where I was like, dude, alcohol is ruining your freaking life. You want to be better. Because then I was going back to college and I was like, I was trying to better myself. And like slowly I was like, but like that alcohol kept me, like you said, drained to where I never had energy or capacity to feel good, to enjoy life, to want to grow, to want to love anyone besides myself. Like I was the most selfish human and I was completely oblivious to it.
Wow, man, that's a powerful message, dude. Because I feel like we all have dealt with that in some type of way. Like what it sounds. You said you were always what you said, alcoholic, right? But I guarantee, right, at first, and correct me if I'm wrong, I guess, at first the alcohol was something you turned to as a comfort, right?
Yeah.
It gave you something at the time that was beneficial, right?
Absolutely.
It began as something that comforted you, something that took the pain away, if you will. But then over time, it started to just become more toxic and toxic and toxic. You become so oblivious to
100%.
that toxic because you become comfortable in that pain, in that suffering, in that toxicity. Man, that's so strong of you to just wake up like that. And that's, dude, I feel like that's something that who's ever watching this right now needs to realize. Like, if you have this issue, if you feel like, you know, this is hitting on your heart, if you're in a situation where you just feel stuck, you feel like you're going through the same motions over and over and over and over, you just don't know how to break free, but you know that these things are not doing well for you, they're not leading you anywhere productive. What you got to do, man, I feel like the biggest thing with what you just said, right? You got to wake yourself up. And by waking yourself up, you got to take a step back. That's it. That's what waking up is. It's not just something you're not already, because you already have power inside you to wake up, so to say. But you just got to take a step back and not just focus on the moment, the present here, but focus on the full thing. Think about your life. Think about where you're going, what you've done. Think about the time. Dude, I'll tell you, man, when I first started, I was in a similar place. I was just depressed. It was in 2020 as well. And I decided to take a step back. That's an incredible year, I swear. We 2020 vision in that year. I swear, we did things for the good and the bad in that year. And it helped us create something incredible, that's for sure. But dude,
for sure.
Yeah, you have to realize, you have to ask your question, what am I doing? And if I continue this, what am I going to do? And if that answer is not something that deep down you feel your calling, your purpose is leading you to do, then you got to ultimately run away from it, because it's going to lead you nowhere but death. And I mean, I know death is ultimately where we're going, but you got to be meaningful in this life, because ultimately life really doesn't have meaning, but we can give it meaning. It has no meaning. That's power.
Right.
You can see that. If you're in this place, if you feel that pouring on your heart, listen to it. There's no coincidence that these thoughts are coming into your mind. Just sit with them. Let them go. Let them be free. Like, meditate on those thoughts, you know, see what could happen. You know, you can really do anything you want. That's incredible, man. So you came out of this, you woke up and you started thinking, okay, what can I do? What then?
So that wake up moment, shortly after, I quit the drinking, and then I started to go inward, and like you said, I took that step back, and I had to realize, I had to like step outside of myself, which I didn't know how to do that at the time. But I had to really step outside of myself and figure out what was going wrong, which at the time was literally everything. You know, it's like when it rains, it pours. And so, but eventually the universe like blessed me. Like, I was starting to feel love again, because once I stopped drinking, like I could feel, and I was feeling deeply. Like, you know, like when you're just numb for so long, you're not getting that serotonin.
Yeah.
And or dopamine, I guess would probably be. It'd be one of those.
Very similar. They work the same receptors, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't getting either of those. And basically, like, as soon as I got off the booze, like, I started feeling like crazy. I was crying a lot. Like, I was going through it. And in February, shortly after I quit drinking in September of 2021, February of this year, I met my current girlfriend, Lauren, because I had stepped onto her YouTube live just by complete crazy happenstance. And we started talking, and she is just set me on this spiritual path. Like, she basically was a spiritual teacher. The spiritual teacher opens the door, and then you as a student have to walk through it. And that's exactly what she did. And I've learned how to meditate, do yoga, and do a million of these practices that have helped me go inside and figure out who I really am.
That's brilliant, man. And I think the biggest thing we need to know is it doesn't start just like that, but it's all the little things that add up until here, right?
Yes.
That's beautiful, man. But that's incredible how you seek and you found. You had that thought to you, that desire to be something different. And look what happened. Look what you found because of it. That's incredible, man. That's powerful. That is so powerful. Such a powerful message, what you said. So you've come this far, right? The door has been open for you, as you said, and now you started stepping through. Where are you, would you say, in your journey as you're speaking? Why has it led you to starting a business?
So in terms of my journey, like I'm really starting to turn a corner with my spiritual journey, like towards feelings of enlightenment, feeling of my true self, which enlightenment, as the Buddha says, is just the end of suffering. And that's literally where I'm like rounding the corner on. Like my meditations have really been really profound lately, where I'm just starting to eliminate those last few layers of just negativity and these old programs. But they've led me to realize through my meditations that I want to be an entrepreneur, because it's something that's resonated with me my whole life. And I want to do web design because it's something that it's really like that sweet spot. You know, if you think of like the Venn diagram of what am I good at? What will people pay me for?
Yeah.
And like, what can I, like, how can I help people the most? Because I find like a lot of people don't understand web design.
Yeah. For real. Yeah. It's a tricky skill. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. Like even in 2022, like you think like, oh, you know, websites have been around for a while. Like there's still so many that I come across that like they just need help.
Yeah.
And like I've spent so much time like studying and watching videos, and I went to college for this, and
Yeah.
I've done websites on my own, and I'm realizing like this is the most value I can provide for people. A website is valuable because it's basically how you're communicating with the world, not just your business, but you as a person. So in a lot of ways, you know, it's like that. It can be just that first stop for customers for whatever your business or your blog is. It's going to be that first impression, but you want it to be a lasting impression. Like you want to resonate with that customer immediately and tell them exactly who you are. And that's what I find a lot of times on websites is people aren't communicating who they really are. Like I'll see their website and I'm like, this is just crap. Like this is very salesy, like very preachy, like these long paragraphs of text, and it just doesn't resonate with people like how we consume information. And it doesn't resonate with their particular audience. Like how would they want to be spoken to, and like how are you connecting? Like because like you go to a business and like they connect so deeply with you in person, you're like, this is amazing, like let me go check out their website, and it's just like dog crap. Like I don't know.
No, that you're right, man. It leaves just a bitter taste in your mouth, doesn't it? When you see that, right? Yeah, yeah. I've had my fair
Absolutely.
share of experiences with those type of businesses. Yes, absolutely. And it does. It sets something. It sets something apart, and ultimately, you can't help someone if ultimately they don't feel comfortable with what you're sharing, what your message. They don't resonate with it. If they're not there, you're never going to be able to help them. And if you don't help them, you're never going to be able to get money from them. If you don't get money from them, you're never going to be able to keep growing your business and help more people. You know,
Right.
yeah, that's so important. So very important. I think a lot of people do overlook that. You know, they think of that being in person, especially for a brick and mortar business. But I know the world's turning more into webs because the media and everything with this right here, it's changing the game. This is So
Right.
a lot of those the brick and mortar have that old mindset, right? Where just word of mouth can play. They can build that relationship in person. But you're absolutely right with how you said they need to have that follow-up, that online presence.
Mm-hmm.
Even more powerful, if you will.
Yeah. Especially like nowadays, if you think about how the world's changing lately with COVID and everything, like a lot of times, it's uncertain if you're going to be able to help them in person. So like having tools where they can access it online, they can see your hours online, any events, any changes, like sharing your blog, like sharing your thoughts and like really providing value to your audience at every like step of the way is going to create more than just like a dollar sign or just like a one-time transaction. It's going to create like a real relationship with your customer
Yeah.
if done correctly.
If done correctly, absolutely, absolutely, and that's so key, because if you without that relationship, man, no impact is being made. You're not helping,
Right.
not really helping. You're just kind of there. You're just more of the noise that we are all experiencing now.
Yeah. Oh, you're absolutely right. There's endless noise and you just become a part of that. You become a commodity. Like this is like a proper website that speaks your truth as a business, as a human, is how you're going to break through the thousands of TikTok videos people are scrolling through day after day. Like when you speak who you really are, not some fake thing that you saw in another person's video, not who you think you should front and act like when you are your truest self, like you and I are being right now. Like that's how you resonate with your customer, you know.
You know, I'm not sure if you're the same way, but whenever I read books and whenever I consume whatever it may be, I'm not
Mhm.
I'm not just consuming to consume. Like at first I was. At first I would scroll through Facebook and just look at stuff just to see what was
Right.
there, see if maybe something would make me laugh. But now, and usually it does, and it makes me laugh too. And then I continue just on the spiral. 5 hours later, I'm like, eyes just droopy and black eyes and stuff, and just can't. I'm just like,
Right.
what
You're like, where
happened?
did my energy go?
Oh my gosh, yeah, right. I can't sleep. I don't know why. I'm so fatigued. Uh, but like, at first I started consuming that way, and then as I started seeking to build a business and become that entrepreneur and give value to people, I realized that, man, I didn't know a lot of stuff. There's a lot of things, a lot of skill sets that I just didn't have. So like I started consuming and shifting gears, started focusing on, okay, what can I gain from this that I'm about to consume, right? I was looking for those gold nuggets. And what you said, dude, was a gold nugget for anybody who's trying to do this, who really wants to make a big impact. It's how can you create more value and push it out there so more people can see it, right? That's so powerful, because if we are going to consume, if your customer, right, the people you help, their customer is going to consume, you realize that, why not then give them something good that's going to be a good for their soul that they can consume, right? Give them something that's not just drain their energy, drain their focus, create more negative thoughts on themselves, and even just tamper with their dopamine response, their dopamine receptor, making their motivation just go downhill, right? Why not something that's gonna be bread of life, right? That's powerful.
That's amazing. I 100% agree. Yeah, it's something that I've tried to do as well, is like be intentional, like in life, but like even like consuming content, because like you said, it's like it's so easy, like especially like TikTok, like that's one, it's just like a black hole.
Yeah.
Unless you like hit the like search button and like actually find something. But yeah, like going out of your way to find something that's actually valuable to you, like, and it raises your energy, it raises your vibration. You're like, wow, this is what I needed. Like I can learn and grow. Like the internet's not a bad thing. It's not.
Exactly. Right.
And that's like, that almost goes back in that poverty mindset where you like look at it as like a negative thing because, oh, this is warping kids' minds. Well, they're not using it properly. You're not like, you know, you're not setting them up for success with it, you know?
Yes, exactly, man. It's a tool, and a tool can be used for good and for evil.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
a hammer could be used to knock somebody out, but it could also be used to like push a nail in. Maybe that's not the best analogy. I mean, it is true.
Good. It could be used to kill or build or create.
Kill or build. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. The internet is no different.
exactly. It really is. It really is, man. Wow, that's killer. That's so awesome. That's so awesome, Dominic. Sounds like you have found your purpose, my man. You are moving in
Thank
the
you.
right direction. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
That's great.
Heck
That's
yeah.
great. So I know you said you are in the final phase of launching your business, right? So when can we expect to work with you? When can people watching this right now where can they find you, and where can we learn more about Dominic and watch you just change the world?
So Dominic will be tentatively live on my website, spiritflycreative.com.
Okay.
The name of the business, I got a nice .com, which is beautiful. We should be live December. Like that is my goal, is for December. And before then, if you really want to get a hold of me, Dominic at spiritflycreative.com is my email. So you can just shoot me an email. I know it's old school, but you know, that's how businesses get stuff done. We still use that nowadays.
Yeah.
I mean, content is really the name of the game. Like, you know, a website is great, but you got to have dynamic content to keep it alive, you know?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Give people more value. Give them what they want.
Yes.
They want, give them what they need.
Nice.
That's brilliant, man. That's awesome. Well, Dominic, I am so grateful, dude, that you joined us today. I really appreciate it. Thank you for sharing your message. That was a powerful one, to say the least.
Thank you.
Oh, absolutely, my man. Absolutely. Thank you. I know you're gonna do great things, man. I cannot wait to see what great things are. So we'll definitely keep in touch. And until then, man, I'll definitely have you back on. Until next time, we'll see you then. Hi guys, thank you for watching this video. I am so honored to be here, to be your guide, and to help you build the body of your dreams. If you found this video useful, if you liked it, share it with a friend, hit the subscribe button, hit the like, smash the bell so you can get notified when we create more muscle building content so you can learn the keys and the fundamentals of success. Thank you guys again for watching this, and I'll see you in the next one.